Hey there, speed demons and casual cruisers. We all love that new car smell, right? The gleaming chrome, the sleek lines, the promise of adventure on the open road. It's intoxicating. Dealerships know how to put on a show. We walk into these temples of transportation, seduced by the allure of luxury and the thrill of the open road. Salespeople greet us with practiced smiles, promising the world and a free air freshener. But behind this polished facade lies a hidden truth, a reality that's often overlooked. The plight of the hard-working mechanics who keep those shiny vehicles running smoothly. These grease-stained heroes rarely see the spotlight. They toil away in the underbelly of the dealership, their labor obscured by the glamour of the showroom floor. Yet without them, the entire automotive industry would grind to a halt. They are the unsung heroes of the open road, the wizards who transform metal and oil into roaring engines and smooth rides. But here's the kicker. These essential workers are often undervalued, underpaid, and taken for granted. Step out of the air-conditioned showroom and into the heart of the service department. The atmosphere changes. The air is thick with the scent of oil and sweat. The clang of wrenches and the hiss of air tools replace the soothing sounds of elevator music. This is where the real work happens. Mechanics, clad in grease-stained uniforms, hunch over engines, their hands calloused, their faces etched with the grime of their trade. They are the backbone of the automotive industry, the ones who keep our cars running safely and efficiently, but their reality is far removed from the glitz and glamour of the showroom. Many mechanics are trapped in a system that devalues their skills and undervalues their labor. They are subject to grueling hours, demanding quotas, and a pay structure that often feels rigged against them. This system, known as flat-rate pay, is at the heart of the struggle faced by countless dealership mechanics. It's a system that incentivizes speed over quality, pushing mechanics to cut corners, and potentially compromising the safety and reliability of the vehicles we drive. So, what exactly is this flat-rate beast? Imagine this. Instead of being paid for the actual time it takes to fix a car, you're paid a predetermined rate for each specific repair, regardless of how long it actually takes. Sounds like a recipe for disaster, right? Well, you're not wrong. This system, a relic of a bygone era in the automotive industry, is a major source of frustration and financial strain for mechanics. Let's say the book time allocated for a particular repair is 1 hour. But due to unforeseen complications, the repair takes 2 hours. Under the flat-rate system, the mechanic is only compensated for that initial 1 hour of work. Essentially, they are working for free for that extra hour. This creates an environment where mechanics are constantly racing against the clock, pressured to complete repairs as quickly as possible to maximize their earnings. This can lead to rushed jobs, overlooked issues, and potentially dangerous shortcuts. Don't just take my word for it, let's hear from the folks on the front lines. Meet Mark, a seasoned mechanic with over 20 years of experience.
I love what I do, but the flat rate system makes it tough to make ends meet. I'm constantly stressed about time, and it feels like I'm being penalized for taking the time to do a thorough job.
And then there's Sarah, a single mother who's been a mechanic for 8 years.
I'm the sole provider for my family, and the unpredictable nature of flat-rate pay makes it incredibly difficult to budget or plan for the future. Some weeks, I barely make enough to cover my bills, even though I'm working my tail off.
These are just two examples of the countless stories of struggle and frustration that echo through the garages of dealerships across the country. The flat-rate system is not just a matter of fairness, it's a system that's pushing skilled workers away from the automotive industry. Section 5. A statistical snapshot, declining wages and financial strain. The struggles of dealership mechanics are not anecdotal. They're backed by cold, hard data.
According to a recent study by the National Automobile Dealers Association, the median hourly wage for automotive technicians has remained stagnant over the past decade, while the cost of living continues to rise. In fact, when adjusted for inflation, mechanics' wages have actually declined in recent years.
This means that the very people who keep our cars running are finding it increasingly difficult to afford basic necessities. The financial strain on mechanics is undeniable. Many are forced to work excessive hours, often sacrificing time with their families and putting their own health at risk just to make ends meet. This is not only unfair to the mechanics themselves, but it also has broader implications for the automotive industry as a whole. Section 6. The price of injustice, turnover, shortages, and the drain of expertise. The flat rate system and its accompanying low wages are driving a crisis in the automotive industry, a shortage of skilled mechanics. Think about it. Who wants to enter a profession where they are undervalued, underpaid, and constantly stressed? Young people who might have considered a career as a mechanic are now looking elsewhere for more lucrative and less demanding fields. This is creating a significant skills gap in the industry. The consequences of this shortage are already being felt. Dealerships are struggling to find qualified technicians, leading to longer wait times for repairs and potentially higher costs for customers. Moreover, the loss of experienced mechanics means that dealerships are losing valuable knowledge and expertise. This is not sustainable in the long term. The automotive industry needs to address the root causes of this crisis, starting with the unfair flat rate pay system. Section 7. Shifting gears, a call for action and systemic change. It's time to ditch this archaic flat rate system and embrace a fairer, more equitable way to compensate mechanics. We need a system that values quality over speed, one that rewards skill and experience. This isn't just about fairness, it's about ensuring the safety and reliability of the vehicles we rely on every day. So, what can be done? Well, buckle up because we're about to embark on a road trip to reform. First stop, raising awareness. Most people are simply unaware of the struggles faced by dealership mechanics. We need to shine a light on this issue, to educate consumers and policymakers about the urgent need for change. Empowering mechanics' legislative solutions for a fairer deal. Next stop on our journey, legislative action.
We need to push for laws that protect mechanics from unfair labor practices and ensure that they are paid a fair wage for their skills and expertise. Some states have already made strides in this area. For example, California has implemented laws that require dealerships to pay mechanics for the actual time spent on repairs, rather than relying solely on the flat rate system. These laws have been instrumental in improving the lives of mechanics and setting a precedent for other states to follow.
We need to encourage lawmakers at both the state and federal levels to prioritize the well-being of automotive workers and to create a legal framework that supports fair wages and ethical labor practices in the industry. The customer's role, advocacy, and understanding in the fight for fairness. Our third stop on this road to reform is right where it all begins, the customer.
That's right, you. Consumers have more power than they realize. By demanding transparency from dealerships about their labor practices, and by supporting businesses that treat their employees fairly, customers can make a real difference. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Find out how the mechanics at your dealership are compensated. Let dealerships know that you value fair labor practices and that you're willing to take your business elsewhere if necessary. Remember, every time you bring your car in for service, you have an opportunity to vote with your wallet and support businesses that align with your values.
Investing in our automotive future, the importance of skilled labor. Our penultimate stop is a reminder of why this all matters. Mechanics are not just cogs in a machine, they are highly skilled professionals who play a vital role in our society. They keep us safe on the road, ensure the efficient transportation of goods and services, and contribute significantly to our economy. By investing in fair wages and better working conditions for mechanics, we are investing in the future of the automotive industry and the overall health of our economy. It's time to recognize the value of these skilled workers and to create a system that attracts and retains the best and brightest minds in the field. Driving towards justice, a collective responsibility for change. We've reached the final destination on our road trip to reform collective action. Creating a fairer and more just automotive industry is not just the responsibility of lawmakers or dealership owners, it's a collective responsibility. We need mechanics, consumers, policymakers, and industry leaders to work together to dismantle the outdated and unfair systems that have plagued the industry for far too long. It's time to ditch the flat rate system, embrace fair wages, and create a work environment where mechanics feel valued, respected, and empowered. Let's shift gears towards a brighter future for the automotive industry, one where skilled workers are rewarded for their hard work and dedication, and where the vehicles we rely on are maintained with the highest level of care and expertise. Remember, when mechanics thrive, we all thrive. So, let's get this show on the road.